I wanted to take some time to send you all a message, as you are some of the most important leaders we have in this agency. I wish I could be in front of every one of you quickly, but with 121 prisons, that's going to be difficult. While I work to travel to your facilities and see each of you, I wanted to communicate with you sooner. Now, I've been involved in corrections now for almost 30 years. 5 of those years was in prison personally. And since that time, I've been to about 50 prisons outside of the United States and countless prisons inside of our country. I have sat at round tables, I've administered audits, and I have walked through prisons with several wardens and state directors. I have seen some prisons that are absolutely terrible, with a bad staff culture and dangerous inmate environment. And I have seen prisons with some of the most dangerous populations operate where staff are happy, feel safe, and the majority of the inmate population keep the environment calm. I've seen about every situation and security level that exists in correctional facilities. And you know what I've learned, both as an inmate and the over 20 years since? How a prison functions rises and falls on the warden that leads it, period. I've seen terrible prisons turn around within a short time with the right warden. And I've seen great prisons recede quickly with a poor one. One of the prison systems my foundation studied recently is located in Missouri, where 2 prisons sit right next to each other. One prison, a medium security facility, and the other a level 5, the highest security prison. The medium security prison has been staffed at over 90%. The high security prison has struggled to maintain 60%. In the surveys of the medium prison staff, they said they were happy with their job, while the high security staff weren't very positive. Most of the wardens in that system and around have said the reason's simple. The high security facility has all the dangerous inmates, most of whom are lifers and nothing to lose. So they cause a lot of challenges to the staff who don't want to work there and make it all a really difficult place. In fact, there was an average of over 80 staff uses of force on inmates monthly. All kinds of excuses as to why the 2 prisons right beside each other were so different. So you know what the leadership did? You guessed it. They moved the warden out that was running the high security facility and moved the warden over from the medium to run it. Now imagine all those other wardens that have all the experience running the high-level institutions. Imagine all the things they said. They told the warden from the medium facility that this was a totally different ball game. I'm sure many of them laughed as they assumed it would be a quick lesson taught to this naive warden. I had the chance to spend time with this warden and interview him within the first week of his job. He had zero doubt what was going to happen and spelled out the steps he would take. Now fast forward to today. Only 11 months later, staff are talking about how much more they like their job. What about the inmates? They're walking around talking about how the staff are acting so different. Uses of force, not just cut in half, but last month down to only 11 incidents. That's right, reduced from 80 a month to only 11 last month. I learned of another prison that had experienced a miraculous turnaround, and I wanted to investigate and know why. I met with the frontline staff all the way up to the leadership. When I walked with the warden, he talked about the condition of the compound when he took over. Trash piled up, staff were so negative, and everybody was in a bad place. He told me the director had brought him in to, quote, turn it around. So I asked him, what was his plan? I was shocked at his answer. It wasn't, I'm going to whip the people in shape, or somebody has to be firmer with these staff and they need to do their job better. They need to go by policy. Instead, his only response was that he knew he had to immediately show care for the staff and show value to them. He said it was that simple. Show value as a leader to the staff and they will take care of each other better. And then they will do what's necessary to help inmates get what they need to be better. After countless interviews, I learned the change was real and solid. And by the way, this was a level 5 high security facility also. I have learned the role you play as a warden and associate wardens set the tone for the entire prison. People follow a leader. This can happen in any system, any security level, anywhere. Do you know where I have seen great wardens really thrive? It's when they have leadership over them that support and encourage them to challenge the status quo, to challenge them to come up with new ways to improve the environment for the staff and programming for the inmates. When wardens have support from the top, it's like rocket fuel. Moving forward, the director and I are going to identify those wardens among you that care about the staff that work in your institutions. We are going to identify those among you that understand that we are responsible not just for the housing of inmates in our custody, but to create an environment and give them the resources to be better prepared so that when they leave, they do not come back to our institutions. This is our mission. This is why we exist. We want to hear from wardens that have creative ideas or want to try things that they have seen work in other prison systems. We want leaders that acknowledge the great people that work under them and quickly hold accountable those that hurt the mission or the reputation of this agency. We want to identify leaders that are investing in themselves, learning to be the best leaders they can be, and to inspire others to rise up and be better leaders also. When I spoke to the RDs recently, I asked them for advice and challenges. One said they knew I had a lot of programs I'd want to push down to all the institutions. Their only advice was to take it slow and be understanding. I told the RDs that I don't have one program that I want to push down to the wardens. And let's be honest, if I did, I'm smart enough to know that most of you wouldn't do them anyways. Instead, I've learned that many times the best ideas already exist inside these agencies. They just have to be encouraged and supported so the wardens can do them and then spread it to others by sharing their success. I don't have anything to teach you. Many of you have been doing this job much longer than I have. All I can do is share with you what I have learned from my years of searching it out and studying the best among you in your field. I can support you and I can empower you in your roles. And I can remove those among you that aren't the type of leaders this agency needs. Now, I know this new way of life I'm describing at the BOP will take some time to get used to. I know from many that have sat in your seat or are sitting in your seats currently that there's not often been this level of support or expectation. But your role is too valuable to this agency and the people that work in it for the director and I not to be intentional on who we allow to serve in your seats. It is our hope that those of you who have spent so much of your lives in this career, that you'll want to take a chance and embrace this new season. And it is also our hope that those of you who do not want to be the type of leaders that supports their staff and create a positive environment for everybody to live and work in, that you would go ahead and retire and make way for those leaders who want to do it the right way. I have already spoken to a few of you, and those conversations have me very excited to see where this agency can go now that we have a president and an attorney general that understands for the first time ever in our agency's history the important role we play in public safety. I'm honored to be a part of this transformation with you, and I look forward to visiting some of your institutions soon.